What's up guys, it's me Hunter Gunslinger here, back with a brand new video. Today we're going to be discussing the Destiny 2 open world concept system in our reveal tour of Nessus that we're going to get when the game ships out on September 6th. Now there's a lot of adventures and a lot of things in gameplays, if you want to put it in that sense, they're going to get in the Nessus. There's going to be a lot of public events, there's going to be a lot of adventures, a lot of flashpoints, a lot of world quest lines, a lot of those cool things that you're going to get on Nessus when Destiny 2 ships out September 6th. Now IGN First is going to be the ones that are going to be describing the whole Nessus and public events and all that cool stuff, and I will leave their link in their video in the description down below because these are their sources. So I would recommend you to give them revenue and likes on those videos that they're posting for us Destiny Guardians who are big fans of Destiny. Now a lot of people are wondering about the whole quest lines, the whole flashpoints, the lost sectors. What can you do with the lost sectors? What type of treasures are going to get in the lost sectors? Well, judging by the photo and judging by a lot of the videos and stuff like that, they didn't really show what kind of loot we're going to get, but there's going to be some promising loots in there. Now the reason why people are asking these questions, a lot of people wonder, are there going to be some good legendary gear? Are there going to be some exotics in there? Because in the lost sectors you have to go against some bosses in those caves and in those dungeons, like most games usually have. They're always like a loot cave or a loot dungeon. You go in there, it's not going to be that easy. You gotta have a boss fight to get those loots. That's, you know, like medieval tales and all that cool stuff where knights goes in and think they're going to get the loot and have to go against a big ass dragon. So Bungie's kind of going into that type of feel where yes, there are going to be lots of loots in there, but you know, you gotta have a boss fight to get those loots. I mean, that's mostly in every games that you play so far. There's always going to be like a boss fight in one of those loot caves and you have to get it. I mean, that's the whole point. Now, Destiny 2 open beta is extended today, so that means it's going to end tomorrow. It's going to be the new reset date, so if you didn't get all the gear and all those nice loots or the rare loots that a lot of people are getting from the warlocks, feel free to finish up the game today. Next they're talking about is the public events. Public events are the ones that are very interesting and the dramatic things in the original Destiny 2 open, well, the original Destiny open world concept. A lot of people did a lot of public events because public events 99% of the time drop you really good loot and a really good light level if you did them in Destiny 1. So for when I do public events, it does kind of drop me some nice gear level, light level that kind of help me boost up my light level a little bit further. So this time around in Destiny 2, they're going to be a little bit different. It says the video features one in which players defend a drill against the Cabal ground troops. And if you see that, that is one of the public events we're going to get in Destiny 2, which is pretty interesting. Now, the drill is the one that we saw throughout the strike mission and all that stuff. We have to defend the drill against the Cabal and all that cool stuff. And people are saying hopefully there will be good loots in there. Now, the reason why people keep saying loots and loots and loots and stuff, because they're dropping all these things like public events, lost sectors, flashpoints, landing zones and all that cool stuff, and a lot of people were just curious about the loot, that they want to make sure that they're doing all these grinding in Destiny 2 that they get these loots. A lot of people don't really understand that's in most games. If you guys kind of notice that most games always want you to grind out to get those perfect loots. Even Horizon Zero Dawn had you grind to get that specific loot, that gear set that they had. Call of Duty is the same way too. Madden, 2K, all those games that we all play around the times always want you to grind to get those specific loots or those specific gears and treasures. That's a whole concept about gaming. When people talk about Destiny 2, that there's a lot of grinding, a lot of stuff, I'm like, that's in most games, and most definitely in Call of Duty, because you have to grind to get that dark matter. That dark matter is not just going to come to you really easy. You can get 1,000 kills. That doesn't mean guarantee you will get the dark matter. You got to get 100 kills on this specific weapon. You got to do this on this specific weapon. You got to do this, you got to do that. There's always grinding in every game. So Destiny is no different than any game that you guys mentioned. There's always going to be some sort of grind to get those specific gears, because they want you to do those things and want you to get interested and want you to break secrets and do all those things in their games. That's the whole point of game developers do. If you don't do this on games, then everybody said that the game is boring. So it's like 50-50 on that part if you want to put in that sense. Next is Destiny 2's landing zones. So landing zones, meaning we heard that you're able to pick between several landing zones on each planet from which to set of your adventures, but they won't allow it to be accessible to you from the start. So that's one. They won't be accessible to you when the game kind of starts or when it first starts. When you first go to the planet, you're not going to see very much. Bungie wants you to feel like an explorer and wants you to get sense of discovery as you slowly uncover each destination. More landing zones will unlock as you complete those adventures, story mission, and other content, Shrek missions. Some regions within each other's destination will have a higher light level enemies, and some will fill with new content after you're done with the main campaign. So that's really interesting. So the landing zones are not going to be there as you start the game. You got to find those things yourself. They want you to be an explorer. They want you to find those things. I don't understand why people said they don't want to do those things. It's kind of interesting in games. I like games that want me to do certain things because it makes the game interesting. You're playing with your friends and you want to do those certain things. When people said they don't want to do those things, I'm like, then you're not a gamer. I mean, if you're a gamer like me, you want to go out there and find certain things, because not only you might find landing zones, you might find something else that they didn't mention into this article, they didn't mention earlier this year. So I'm kind of glad that Destiny kind of put that in there. As far as flashpoints, a lot of people don't know understanding of flashpoints. So this is what they said. Weekly rotating content is one of Destiny's strongest hooks to pull you back into the game on a regular basis. Now that the open world is getting its own hook in form of flashpoints, in that you're focused onto the open world, everyone can attempt them, that kind of counterpoints to the nightfall strikes. So flashpoints is something like the nightfall strikes, Destiny's toughest PvE challenges that isn't a raid. So flashpoints are something like the nightfall strikes. A new destination is selected each week, and players are challenged to go there and complete the public event. Sounds simply enough, but plenty else hinges on those flashpoints. K6 is now selling treasure mats. You will always find their booties on the flashpoint destination. There also will be secret bosses that you can trigger when their destination is in flashpoints. In Destiny 1, some variable gear like the Black Spindle exotic sniper rifle was the only acceptable when certain missions were weekly future ones. You can probably expect similar time gates in those sequels. So Flashpoint is basically, how I say it, they're like the sisterhood of the brotherhood of Nightfall Strikes, but a little bit more different, because it said K6 is going to be selling treasure mats. So K is going to be a little bit more selling a little bit more stuff this time around in Destiny 2, or the Vanguard is going to be selling a little bit more stuff than in Destiny 1, than the original concept. But everybody knows about the public events, and Destiny wants you to have more adventure this time around than it was in Destiny 1. They want you to go out there and explore a lot of things, because 99% of the time there's always going to be those one people that's going to be exploring shit. And I think that's why Destiny is pushing us into explorer mode. Destiny is like that type of game. The other games probably won't fit that type of setup, but Destiny kind of fits that setup. So Destiny, well, Bungie itself want us to go out there and explore, because that's us at the end of the day. I mean, we always going to go out there and explore some shit, or uncover some shit that we supposed not to even uncover, and just go from there. So Bungie wants to put that whole concept into the game. I mean, Bungie's always going to have you grinding. That's nothing new. Let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think about this whole new setup of new adventures that come in Destiny 2, and what you're looking for into the game. My name is Hunter Gunslinger, and I will see you Guardians in my next post.